we're not sure. Our program dropped us, so we are back. Sorry about that. But we were just talking about Aries and Aries's need to have fun. And so, Kristi, I'm going to ask you to give us a little energy read on what Aries can do to help lighten things up.
Yeah. So, Aries, what I want you to do this month is to use your voice. Using your voice is a really powerful way to release energy that's pent up. And that's what I feel like a lot of you are feeling, Aries, is that there's a lot of energy stuck in you. So, if you like singing in the car or in the shower, do that. If you like watching all the Pitch Perfect movies and singing along with that, if you like to, as a friend of ours says, go down to the river with a box of wine and throw rocks and scream, do that. Whatever you need to do, use your voice. It can
Yep.
literally be saying, talking to someone and telling them the things that you're struggling with and that you want to release. But for it, singing just keeps coming up. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you're good at singing or that you have to be good at singing or anything like that. You don't. It is just simply about using your voice to release some energy. So, however you enjoy doing that, get out there and do it.
Yep. Yes, Audrey, we're back. Sorry about that, you guys. We're not in charge of the technicals.
Yeah, I don't know.
We are, but we're
You
at the
would think
mercy
we
of
were,
the
but
technicals. Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on to Taurus. I feel like that whole reading for Aries easily could have been for Taurus as well,
mm-hmm.
because Taurus seems to me like they've been pretty heavy in the mire too. Oh, interesting. Okay, the card for Taurus is Isis, and this is the mothering card.
Okay.
So, Taurus, for you, I think this is a good month for you to baby yourself, to mother yourself, to give yourself the things that you need to feel good. Sometimes you have to be the person that does that for you. You have to be the one that puts you down for a nap. You have to be the one that bakes you cookies. You have to be the one that does things for you. And I think this is one of those cases where that is very true. So, Taurus, for you, I feel like this month it's really about mothering yourself
Mm-hmm.
and setting some really good boundaries in your own self care. Send yourself
Mm-hmm.
to bed at a decent hour. Make sure that you are eating good food. Make sure that you're getting some sunlight. I think just all of those things, you need to amp up your self care and just make sure that the basics are being met for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So then, Tarians, what I feel like would be very helpful is for you to do a little exercise where you call in the goddess Kuan Yin. And Kuan Yin is really she who hears the cries of the world, is actually, she's a female Buddha figure. So let's just do a little exercise and call her in. So close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. And bring your attention to your heart chakra in the center of your chest. We're going to call in the goddess Kuan Yin. All you have to do is just say her name and ask her to come to you. And her energy is this beautiful pale pink. Think rose quartz is her energy. And think of her like your very best mother figure. If you didn't have a great mother, or even if you did, or do, think of her as like a perfect mother figure. She always says the right thing in the right moment. So you can ask, when you meditate with Kuan Yin, ask her to guide you. You can ask her to fill your heart with her rose quartz energy to heal anything in your heart. And you can call on her at any time to come forward and give you some mothering energy. That's really what her energy is mothering energy. So just take a moment and ask her for whatever you're in need of. Okay, remember what this feels like. You can always just call her to you by name. Batarians, let her come and mother you. You can't even ask her to come and heal you in your sleep or to come and settle you when you're trying to sleep, whatever you may be in need of. Okay. So when you're ready, just take a couple of deep breaths. And open your eyes.
Wonderful. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes we could all use a little extra mothering.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
All right, well, we'll move on to Gemini. Gemini, the card is Aphrodite.
Ooh.
And Aphrodite, of course, is the goddess of love. So, looking at this for Gemini, it's really fun because I feel like not only could this be a great month for romantic love for Gemini, I just feel like you have love coming out of the woodwork. You have friends and family and people you haven't talked to in a while, and just kind of showing up in your life. Yeah, I could even see you guys like reconnecting with high school friends or grade school friends, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Gemini, there's just, you're shining this month. You're really attracting in people who want to care about you and who do care about you and want to spend time with you, and I really like it. The only challenge I feel like for Gemini is that some of it may feel you may question how authentic it is because there's just a little too much, and the truth is you don't have to engage with anyone that you don't want to. If something feels weird to you, if something feels like it's making you uncomfortable, then the answer is no, right? That's simple enough. But truly, it's a good month for you. It's a good month for love for Gemini. That's kind of fun.
So, Gemini, this month I want you to practice. This is a mental energy practice. And this is that every time someone says something kind to you or gives you a compliment, instead of saying, "Oh, thank you, or you look beautiful too," or "Oh, my shirt was $5," or whatever, I want you to just say thank you. Just say thank you. Don't try to minimize it. I feel like Geminis do this and try to, push past or minimize when they get a compliment or when someone expresses, their, love or admiration for you, that you try to minimize it. I want you to intentionally not do that this month and simply say thank you.
Yeah.
It's important
Wonderful.
to be able to accept.
I love that. This shirt was $5.
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan says that women are really bad for that. They'll say, "This dress was $1 at a yard sale. I've never even washed it."
Yeah.
That just makes me laugh. It's exactly what women do.
It is. It is. It's that
Not by dressing the yard
minimizing.
sale to not wash them. Please don't do that. But
Yeah.
to downplay ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, to really downplay. And I feel like, Gemini is going to be surrounded by a lot of love this month, and you need to be able to accept it. So
Yep.
practice saying thank you.
Yep. You get to have it. That's right. All right. Cancer. The card is, I don't know how you say this. It is Blodelwed. Blodelwed. There's some goddesses in this deck that I do not know. Blodelwed. And the card is Betrayal. So I'm kind of on two parts of that. I think Cancer may be a little Gemini-ish this month in not really knowing what they can trust, what is genuine and what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's a really important time to trust your gut,
Mm-hmm.
But the other part of that, or Cancer, is I feel like this month you just need to be careful who you share with. That you're not oversharing with people that would crush your dreams,
Yeah.
If you have a new dream forming, don't blast it all over social media so that people can stomp you into
Yeah.
a fine paste, or you don't. To share with people that you know can help you and that you know can elevate you, not the flip side of that. The other piece of that, though, Cancer, is you care way too much sometimes about what other people think of you. And this is a really good reminder to you that what other people think of you is none of your business. And you don't have to, "Oh, yeah, I'm terrible for it." Terrible.
I can't figure out which direction to point at you, but I'm pointing at you
Yeah,
because you are a
so much.
Cancer and you do this. And sometimes I have to say, why do you care what they think?
Yeah.
Why do you care what this person thinks?
Yeah, totally. We're bad for this. And I think this is a good reminder for us this month to take a step back from that and quit worrying about it. What do they say? Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Yeah. And I think that's important for Cancer to
Dr.
remember.
Seuss said that, in
So
case you were wondering.
thank you. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. That was a wonderful thing Dr. Seuss said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr.
The
Seuss said
Susie
some good stuff and some
controversy. Yeah, he
not as
did say
good
some good
stuff,
stuff.
but
Yeah. But
okay.
we'll grasp the good stuff. Yeah.
So, Cancerians, here's the thing I want you to remember. Our bodies are antennas of intuition. So, we tend to think of, well, the third eye is the center of intuition. Kind of. Really, we have a lot of intuition centers in the body. The intuition center that tells you what is best for you is your solar plexus. The intuition center that tells you what is best for you and or some other people around you is your heart. So it is very important to remember, if you are unsure in a situation, that you ask your belly, you ask your gut, is this right? Yes or no? We all know what it feels like to have a sick feeling in your stomach. So start asking intuitively, asking your questions to your gut. Did you know that your gut thinks?
Mhm.
Only your gut doesn't have the ability to have self-doubt. Go read Deepak Chopra. He explains the whole thing. But it's very interesting. They're the same kinds of cells. They're neurotransmitters in your stomach that you have in your brain. But they're rudimentary, which means that all they can do is react. They can't assess. And so it's where you get a very clear yes or no about a situation for you. And your solar plexus is all about you and your identity and your personal power and your will. And so when you're unsure about a situation, you ask a question and you feel how you feel in your belly. Okay. That is a really, really important part of learning to use your whole body as an intuitive antenna.
So much. That's really, really good advice for everybody, not just Leo, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that was not
or
Leo, that
Cancer.
was Cancer.
For Cancer, yeah,
JR,
and Leo.
the book, Magical Mind, Magical Body. It's I don't even know if it's a book. It was a set of CDs. Tells you how old it was, that I listened to of Deepak Chopra's, easily 20 years ago, probably more, that explains that. But there's a lot of information out there about how the gut thinks. So you can find information about it. It's really super interesting stuff, but it's why we have gut instinct and gut feeling. So anyway, it's super
Really
important to
interesting.
trust it because it doesn't have the ability to doubt the way that our brains do.
But you can only get it on 8-track tapes, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if it is a book or if it was actually just like a course series on CD. I don't know, but it was called Magical Body, Magical Mind, or Magical Mind, Magical Body, one or the other. It's Deepak Chopra.
Ah,
Super interesting stuff.
sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Leo, the card is Kuan Yin. And
Oh,
Kristi talked a little about Kuan Yin a few minutes ago, but yeah, Kuan Yin, compassion. So, Leo, I feel like for you, it's really, this month is about some compassion for you. You are just, you've been such a trooper, working so freaking hard. Really, just kind of putting your head down and working and trying to get ahead and do everything that you can. And I feel like the compassion for you this month really is standing up for yourself, and recognizing where your limits are, what you really, how much you really want to put up with, how much you really want to spend, how much time you really have. Just standing up for yourself and giving yourself enough time to also have a minute to rest or to lay on the couch or to go have some fun. That it's not just all about work all the time, that you give yourself some breaks. I think, Leo, you've got to do it. You've got to find your voice in that.
Nice. So, Leo, I could say do the Kuan Yin exercise, certainly do. But there's also this
Sure.
very magical little word that I want you to practice a whole lot this month, and it's called no. N-O. Leos really need to say no more, do what's best for themselves, set better boundaries. I just feel like this is an opportunity to really recognize when you need to say no and why it's okay to say no, because it
Yeah.
is. So I want you to practice your no skills this month.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good. I love it. And
Also,
by the way,
magical mind.
JR,
Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
JR found the Magical Mind, Magical Body series on YouTube. So yeah,
Yay.
check that out.
Check it out. It's so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. I was mind blown. It really was at the beginning of my metaphysical journey. That book just so cool, or CD or whatever it was. really,
Eight
really
track.
helped.
8-track tape.
8-track probably, yeah. It was probably on records. No, it wasn't. I'm not that old. But
Was it carved on stone tablets?
Yeah. It really helped me understand how very much our energy bodies and our physical bodies interact with one another and how much of our souls are actually working through our bodies. And so just go listen. You'll be amazed. But
I
don't
almost
listen till
asked
after the show. Wait till we're done and then
okay.
listen.
You've got lots of time.
Yeah.
I almost asked you if it was carved on golden plates. Some of you wouldn't know why, and that's funny. It's kind of a Mormon joke, but it made me think, and I'm going to say it right now so we don't forget. But the Mormon murders,
Murder Among the Mormons.
Yeah, Murder Among the Mormons docuseries
night.
dropped yesterday. Yes. Kristi and I have been gobbling it up and dying, and we're going to it'll be our group case next week. So
we are going to break it down, my friends.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to understand that growing up a Mormon in the 80s, watching the footage and the stuff they talk about, I laughed my ass off because it was so much the culture that we grew up in.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's also some pretty sinister and nefarious stuff that's gone on, in Salt Lake City and kind of in relation to the Mormon church. So we are going to break it
So
all
if you
down.
have time this weekend, find it on Netflix, or if you don't worry. But on Tuesday, we'll break that case and we'll break it down and share it with you as well. So pretty interesting. It was very interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. There's a segue. A bad one, but here we go. Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about Virgo, because Virgo, you too get to play. So this is also best for Virgo.
I love that.
So let me tell you guys something. If you have a Virgo friend, you better grab them this month and make them go have some fun with you.
Yeah.
Because they really, really need it. Yes.
They do. Yeah.
They need it. They need to have some fun. And Virgos are not always very good at doing that for themselves. So get your Virgo friends, recognize their need to play. If you are a Virgo, please also recognize your need to play. But even as I'm saying this, Virgo, I see you out in the sunshine. Like you seriously need some time outside. Yeah.
Well, Virgo, a lot of my energy practices are actually mental practices, but that is still very much energy. Virgo, you got to stop taking things so seriously. I want you to really evaluate where you are catastrophizing in your life right now, because I feel like that's happening. And it does happen when you've been through a lot of challenging experiences. Then you're like, oh, great. Now this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And, and like doing the what if kind of thing and some catastrophizing. So I really want you to watch for that in your thinking and stop yourself and take a deep breath and remind yourself that everything is okay. Because I do feel like you kind of get yourself spun up into that fight or flight kind of response. Also, did you see that Andrea and Brittany were also raised Mormon in the 80s? Okay,
Yeah,
Andrea,
I see that.
The whole thing's wonderful and hilarious and also sad and horrible because it was a bombing and murders. But in the beginning, I want you to watch for a couple things. One guy says, I don't give a care, because that's an old Mormon way of not swearing. Like, I don't give a damn, or I don't give an F, which is what I say now, but definitely F. But anyway, also cans of Tab rolling around. Tab, you guys.
Cans of Tab. Oh my
parents
God.
were freaking addicted. They sucked that stuff down. Oh my God. It was so gross. Anyway, those were two things that I was dying about, because I'm like, oh my God, this is like my life. Anyway.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. And they were playing Celestial Pursuit.
Oh yes, Celestial Pursuit.
I peed my pants about that. Celestial Pursuit was a spin-off of what?
Trivial Pursuit.
Trivial Pursuit. Thank you. I can't even say it now. Celestial's in my brain. Yes, it's a spin-off of that game called Celestial Pursuit. It was hard as hell. I hated that game. They'd pull it out at church functions and stuff, and I always lost because I didn't pay much attention to lots of things. But anyway, it killed me. They were talking about playing it on that show. Anyway, we'll get into it. We'll talk about it on Tuesday, I promise.
We will.
All right. Okay. Well, interesting, Libra, you also pulled the Kuan Yin compassion card.
Dude, we are full of needing compassion for ourselves right now. Wow.
Very much. But I'm going to go a little different way with this with Libra too. Libra, you definitely need to make sure you are showing compassion. Here's the thing that I think has happened. I feel like Libras have watched people around them crumble,
Mm,
watching people, having people having all kinds of crises in their lives, and you have been a support system for months and months and months and months, and just continue to support and support and support every way you can. You have been the compassion for everybody else. I think that's going to continue to knock on your door this month. The challenge for you is to be sure that you are keeping really good boundaries and that you're asking for some compassion in return. When you scramble, you're tired, when you need a little help, you never ask for help, Libra, ever. This might be a month that you need to. And so, compassion for yourself and a big reminder to ask for help when you need it. Yeah.
mhm. Very good. Okay. So then I feel like for Libra, what you really need is a bubble clearing. Because when we help people a lot, when we're, whether it's your job or whether that's just who you are in life, we tend to pick up other people's emotional energy and we pack it around as our own. And then we begin to react to it as though it is our energy. And that can be really problematic. So let's do a quick bubble clearing exercise. So everybody just close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths. Now, bring your attention to your bubble, which is the layer of your energy body that is at arm's length. Remember when we were kids and we were taught this is my bubble, arm's length? Right. This is the space within your energy body that should be just your energy. But for most of us, empaths become sort of a sponge that sucks up other people's emotional energy. So we're going to clear this of any energy that does not belong to you. So I want you to visualize screwing a garden hose to the side of your bubble and dropping the other end of the garden hose into a vortex of white light that we're opening right now in the earth. This is a place where we can throw anything and it will be transmuted into light. So simply drop the other end of the garden hose into the vortex of white light and then watch as all the energy in your bubble, and you can watch what energy it is. It might be certain colors or qualities. You might see faces, know whose energy it is. As that energy just drains from your bubble, just like we were draining a swimming pool. Let all of that energy drain out of your bubble. Good. Now you're just going to unscrew that garden hose. And now we're going to fill your bubble up with your energy. This is what should be there is your energy. And it becomes sort of like a boundary between you and the rest of the world. Think about like the outside of a balloon, the way the air is holding that balloon in shape. We want to do the same thing with our energy bodies, only this is going to be your heart energy. So bring your attention to your heart chakra in the center of your chest and just start to notice what colors are there. Doesn't matter what colors you think are supposed to be in the heart chakra. It doesn't matter. Whatever colors are there are the colors that are supposed to be there. Once you're aware of your colors, I want you to start pushing that energy out from your heart chakra and it's going to begin to fill the bubble. Just continue pushing that heart energy out as it fills the bubble and the bubble gets bigger and fuller, like when you fill up a balloon with air and it starts to take shape in that egg shape around your body until it fills all the way up to above the top of your head. Now just take a couple of deep breaths and open your eyes. And with that
Perfect.
energy, you have replaced the emotional energy you've been carrying around with your own. And you will find you've come to a place of peace and calm, and that some emotions will have just disappeared because they weren't yours to begin with.
Nice. Very good. Okay. Well, Scorpio, this is the goddess Eostre.
Hmm.
You may also, she was also who Easter essentially was
Yeah.
named after.
Some
But
people call her Ostara, right?
uh-huh.
She's got more
Uh,
than one name.
yeah. And the message for that card is growth. It's also new birth, and it's a springy affirmation, I think, but I think for you, Scorpio, this month, it really is about evaluating what your hangups are. What are your fears? What's holding you back? What old patterns are you stuck in? And how do you want to move beyond them? I feel like a lot of the Scorpios I know right now are kind of stuck in some old energy that they're trying to break out of or need to identify and break out of. And I think that's what's going to happen this month, that you'll have some opportunities to kind of face that part of you. It's kind of some shadow work in a sense, of really being able to take a look at the parts of you, the parts of your life, the core beliefs that you have that you really don't want anymore that aren't serving you, and take that opportunity to change it. Because you're a Scorpio, by God, you can.
Right, right. Absolutely. So, Scorpios, then what we need to do is we need to do a clearing of your crown chakra because you've got way too much energy up in here and you're thinking and thinking and thinking. And really, those thoughts are getting in the way of the actions that you want to take and they're holding you back because there's fear in there and there's what ifs and there's replaying of old mistakes and that kind of thing going on in your head. So, we're just going to clear our crown chakras. So, close your eyes. Just take a couple of deep breaths. I want you to imagine that there is a cork stuck into the back of your head, sort of like a plug in a tub. And you're just going to pull that cork out of the back of your head. And out pours all of the energy that's been stuck in your head, making your crown chakra big and race, making it difficult to sleep. And we're just going to allow all of that energy to flow out to the vortex of white light, open that up in the earth. And in that space, the energy that's been in your head is just going to be transmuted into light and released from you in all directions of time. And we're just going to allow all that energy to run out into the vortex of white light. And then when it's all empty, there's nothing left, you put the cork back in the back of your head. And now everybody put your hands on the top of your head and visualize white light coming from your hands, filling your head with just pure, clear, white light, bringing you clarity and peace of mind. And when you feel your head full of that white light, just take a couple of deep breaths. And open your eyes. And that is an
Nice.
awesome way to get rid of, unwanted thoughts, intrusive stuff, things that just won't stop. When you're trying to move forward and you keep having thoughts, they're like, well, what if, but what about, but remember when? It's a great exercise to get rid of those.
Most definitely. Awesome. All right. Well, Sagittarius, the goddess is Vila, and the message is shape shifting. So I think this is really interesting for Sagittarius because Sages are shapeshifters. Sages always wear a bunch of different hats. They love it. They thrive on it. And they're good at it. And so I think this month is an interesting. I could see my Sages start something new this month. I could really see Sagittarians maybe take on a new responsibility, join a new committee, take a different job title. I could see Sages elevate or change in some way this month. The challenge will be making sure that you have time for that and that perhaps you consider letting something else go. That you don't just pile something else onto your plate, but that you make a shift, so that you're not overwhelming yourself because then you end up feeling like I can't do it all. So again, I feel like there's an opportunity coming here for you this month that might be a great one. But if you're doing it, make sure you're trading something else off so that you're not overdone. You don't deserve that.
Nice. Okay. So I feel like for Sages, then what we really need to do is ground to make sure that we're really connected to who we are and that sorry, I got distracted by the chat, really connected to who we are and what we want so that we're not, Sages. I'm a Sag. I know. You can just say yes to everything and figure it out later. Which
Mhm.
can be a
So finally, your sister says, "What the hell are you doing?"
Quit
Tell
saying
them
yes to all
no.
this shit.
You
Yeah,
don't have
exactly.
time. Yeah.
Exactly. So, Sagittarians this month, I want you to carry a dark stone. This is a piece of really dark smoky quartz that I've been using. But carrying a dark stone just in your pocket with you. Actually, this bracelet that I showed you that I made is hematite. It's also a grounding stone. Do some extra grounding. Carry a dark stone. Do the red tree roots exercise. Do some things like that to really ground before you say yes to anything, to make sure that you are answering from a place of clarity about what's good for you and not just the knee jerk yes reaction that we have as Sages. I feel like that's a really important action for you this month.
Absolutely. And innocuous, yes, absolutely. She said these meditations you give us can be kept in our toolkit to use whenever we need. Am I understanding correctly? Definitely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Very soon, like as in this weekend, they will be available on our um True Crime Paranormal website. You'll be able to just purchase them as a bundle for a small amount. They're
Nice.
all things I've written myself and I have recorded. And so I actually have recorded versions of all of them. And so I've wanted to put together an album or something. I think what I'm just going to do is put together a compilation, which you'll get a file where you get like 15 of these. So I'm going to put that on our
Nice.
website so that you guys can access that, because I feel like having the recordings would be really helpful.
Most definitely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Capricorn. This is very interesting. The card is Ceridwen,
Mm-hmm.
and the message is death and rebirth. So for Cap, for you, this is kind of like drawing the death card in tarot. Don't freak out. It's not, there's no death coming.
Right.
This is about the ending of something and the huge, important reminder and message that as something ends, something else opens up,
Mm-hmm.
right? So no dismay. As you see an ending coming, don't fight it. Don't throw yourself, at the feet of something that isn't serving you anymore. If something's coming to a close, let it. Knowing that sometimes when you get rid of something that isn't working well for you anymore, something comes in its place that is better for you. So
Mm-hmm.
often out of fear, we hold on to the old bullshit because we're just afraid of not having something. But the truth is, that's when the right thing comes in. I think this could be jobs. I think it could be relationships. I think it could be living situations and lots of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting month coming for Cap, but don't lose heart. When we let go of a thing that isn't working, we're just making room for something that will.
Well, and,
Yeah.
and then for Capricorn, I feel like it's a very similar message as it was for Sagittarius. You need to ground, and kind of for a different reason, so that you
Mhm.
feel safe, so that you can make those same decisions. So I
Mhm.
would suggest, again, a black stone or some kind of piece of jewelry that's a grounding stone, something that it helps you stay connected to the energy of the earth. I will say, and I know this is a weird time of year for it, but tree hugging is one of the very best things you could do. Go
Mhm.
out in your yard, in a park, on the side of the street, whatever. I mean, do you care if people think you're weird? I don't know if you do, but I don't. Go hug a tree. And don't knock it until you have tried it. It is a tremendously grounding and powerful experience. Get your heart right up against that tree and your arms around the tree, and do it for
Yep.
30 seconds. You will freak out if you've never done this before. DB
For
says
sure.
I'm gonna leave my cork out overnight. Dang, you got a lot going on there, DB.
Mhm.
But
Lots
yeah,
of good
I'm
things
serious.
going
Try
on there.
try hugging a tree.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me until you've actually tried it, because it's a really powerful experience. It's a
Oh,
great way to
definitely.
ground for Capricorn.
Okay, this is so crazy. So I just want to point out that this is a good sized deck. There's easily 50 cards in this deck. I am shuffling it in between every use.
Mhm.
But Aquarius, you also drew the Kuan Yin compassion card.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Boy, we're all
fun?
being really too hard on ourselves right now, aren't we?
Mhm. And
Very.
that's where it's at. Yeah, for Aquarius is really being careful about being too hard on yourself, judging yourself too hard, doubting yourself. Aquarius has made some big strides lately. And now I feel like this month they are a little tempted to throw in the towel on that. A little tempted to decide maybe they didn't deserve it or they're not good enough or they're not whatever. But honestly, Aquarius, you have worked so hard to get to where you are. Don't give up
Mhm.
on yourself. And if you're feeling that way, this is a key time to talk to other people that can
Mhm.
help you to see through those things, the fear-based stuff into the heart of what's going on with you and to help you to recognize what your strengths are and what you have to celebrate because you have plenty. It's just
Mhm.
hard, weird month for you in that sense.
Yeah.
So it really is about confidence and solar plexus work and really being tuned into the power of you and not letting yourself cut you down.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So here's what Aquarians need to work on this month for thought energy, and that is to stop saying I'm sorry about everything. I feel like Aquarians are in this weird place of feeling like they have to say I'm sorry for existing.
Mhm.
And so I want you to stop saying I'm sorry. And if you genuinely hurt somebody's feelings or something, of course say I'm sorry. But don't say I'm sorry every time you say something that you need or ask for something. Stop that. Catch yourself. This is a time to be a really good steward of your thoughts and catch yourself when you should say, when you're thinking you should say, I'm sorry, and say, maybe try thank you instead, or whatever fits in the moment. But catch yourself and stop saying, I'm sorry. You're giving yourself the impression that you don't deserve all kinds of stuff. And it's not true at all.
Yeah.
You don't need to be sorry.
Yep. Really, really important. Really important. All righty. Well, we did it.
We did
We
do it.
made it through all of the signs. So those are your marching orders for the month. So we will be back on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with new cases.
That's
We
right.
will be back Wednesday night live for case updates and Thursday night live for the psychic hour. So
Mhm.
don't, we're not going anywhere. And make sure that you have watched our cases this week yet. If you haven't, we had some really good stuff. We had Jeffrey Dahmer, of all things.
Right? Come on.
Yeah, as well as an
Believe
MMIW
me.
case out of Alaska. Yep, we
Yeah.
had some really good stuff going on. So, thanks you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you very much. Of course, if you would like a reading with me, you can find me over at one2listen.com. If you'd like a reading with Kristi, you can find her on the Purple Garden app.
Yes.
All right. Well, you have been listening to or watching True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. Thanks for being here, guys. Take care.